1. What is the minimum age to apply for a Class 4 license in Alberta? A. 16. B. 17. C. 18. D. 21.
Correct answer, C. 18. Rationale. In Alberta, drivers must be at least 18 years old to apply for a Class 4 license, because it involves the added responsibility of transporting passengers for hire, such as taxis, rideshare, or small buses. 2. According to the law in Alberta, it is the driver's responsibility to ensure that all passengers under what age are properly restrained in the vehicle? A. Under 9 years old. B. Under 12 years old. C. Under 16 years old. D. Under 18 years old. Correct answer, C. Under 16 years old. Rationale. Under Alberta's Traffic Safety Act, the driver is legally responsible for ensuring that all passengers under the age of 16 are properly restrained using seat belts or appropriate child restraints. Once a passenger is 16 or older, they are responsible for their own seatbelt use, but for those under 16, responsibility falls on the driver. 3. A driver's fitness to drive is determined by A. Their employer's rules only. B. Medical, emotional, psychological, and functional ability. C. Their functional ability and level of experience. D. Medical, emotional, and psychological well-being. Correct answer, B. Medical, emotional, psychological, and functional ability. Rationale. Under Alberta driver fitness standards, being fit to drive is not based on employer rules or experience alone. It includes a combination of medical condition, emotional and psychological state, and functional ability. All of these factors together determine whether a driver can operate a vehicle safely. 4. What should a driver do when refusing to carry a difficult passenger? A. Follow your employer's policies or guidelines on refusing to transport the passenger. B. Make a record of your conversation with the passenger in case of litigation or employer's administrative review. C. You are not legally permitted to refuse to carry a passenger. D. Call the police. Correct answer, A. Follow your employer's policies or guidelines on refusing to transport the passenger. Rationale. In Alberta, drivers are allowed to refuse service when a passenger is unsafe, abusive, or interferes with safe driving. When doing so, the driver must act professionally and according to their employer's or company's policies. This ensures the refusal is lawful, consistent, and defensible. 5. According to the law in Alberta, it is the driver's responsibility to ensure that all passengers under what age are properly restrained in the vehicle? A. 16 years. B. There is no age restriction. C. 18 years. D. 21 years. Correct answer, A. 16 years. Rationale. Under Alberta's Traffic Safety Act, the driver is legally responsible for ensuring that all passengers under the age of 16 are properly restrained using seat belts or appropriate child restraints. Once a passenger is 16 or older, they are responsible for their own seatbelt use. 6. What should a driver do if feeling unfit to drive? A. Do not drive. B. Stop and take a walk around your vehicle. Circa. Schedule a break every 2 hours or every 160 kilometers. D. Travel with an awake and alert passenger. Correct answer, A. Do not drive. Rationale. Under Alberta law and safe driving standards, if a driver feels unfit to drive, the correct and legal action is to not operate the vehicle at all. Passenger safety takes priority over schedules or convenience. 7. When are dual turns permitted at an intersection? A. Anytime there are at least 2 lanes on the road being entered. B. Only when turning from a one-way road onto a one-way road. C. Only when the road has 6 or more lanes. D. Only when indicated by pavement markings or traffic control signs. Correct answer. D. Only when indicated by pavement markings or traffic control signs. Rationale. In Alberta, dual turns are not automatically permitted just because there are multiple lanes. They are allowed only when clearly indicated by lane markings, arrows, or traffic control signs. This prevents confusion and collisions. 8. When transporting frail or weak seniors and those with reduced mobility, a driver should be aware of their increased risk of A. Anxiety, B. Pain, circa unsteadiness or falls, D. Fear. Correct answer, C. Unsteadiness or falls. Rationale. Frail or weak seniors and individuals with reduced mobility have a higher risk of losing balance, especially when entering, exiting, or moving within a vehicle. Factors such as muscle weakness, slower reaction time, joint problems, and dizziness increase the likelihood of falls and instability. 9. When driving at night or when you cannot see 150 meters in front of you, you must turn on your A. Hazard lights, B. Hazard lights and headlights, C. Headlights, D. Tail lights. Correct answer, C. Headlights. Rationale. When driving at night or when visibility is less than 150 meters, you are required to turn on your headlights so you can see the road clearly and be seen by other drivers. Important safety points. Hazard lights are for emergencies or stopped vehicles, not normal driving. Tail lights alone do not provide enough forward visibility. Headlights include low beams, which should be used in poor visibility and around other traffic. 10. When attempting to merge with traffic on a highway, a driver should A. Stop at the end of the merge lane until the traffic on the highway is clear. B. Choose an entry space and adjust their speed to merge smoothly. C. Stop at the beginning of the merge lane until the traffic on the highway is clear. D. Maintain speed since merging traffic has the right of way. Correct answer, B. Choose an entry space and adjust their speed to merge smoothly. Rationale. When merging onto a highway, drivers should use the merge lane to match the speed of traffic, identify a safe gap, and blend smoothly into the flow. This keeps traffic moving safely and reduces sudden braking or collisions. 11. This sign indicates A. Divided highway ends, B. Divided highway begins, C. Two-way traffic, D. Obstruction, pass on the left. Correct answer, B. Divided highway begins. Rationale. This sign warns drivers that the road ahead will be separated by a median or barrier, creating two one-way roadways. Traffic in opposite directions will no longer share the same pavement. 12. In an emergency, you should park your vehicle A. On the shoulder emergency stopping lane, B. In the right side lane, C. In the nearest deceleration lane, D. Any place as long as you have your four-way flashers on. Correct answer, A. On the shoulder emergency stopping lane. Rationale. In an emergency, you should move your vehicle completely off the travel lanes to the shoulder or emergency stopping lane. This keeps you and other drivers safe and allows traffic to flow. 13. A school bus parked on a hill must be left in A. Low gear or reverse for a manual transmission, B. Neutral gear for an automatic transmission, C. Engaged park brake for manual or automatic transmission, D. All of the above. Correct answer, D. All of the above. Rationale. When a school bus is parked on a hill, safety requires multiple precautions. Manual transmission. Use low gear or reverse to prevent rolling. Automatic transmission. Leave in park and engage the parking brake. All vehicles always engage the parking brake to ensure the bus stays stationary. 14. What must a driver of an emergency vehicle do in order to drive past the speed limit? A. Flash the headlights. B. Nothing. Drivers of emergency vehicles are always exempt from following speed limits. C. Use the siren. D. Use the horn. Correct answer, C. Use the siren. Rationale. According to the Commercial Driver's Guide, emergency vehicle drivers may exceed the speed limit only when using the siren. This alerts other drivers and pedestrians that the vehicle is responding to an emergency, allowing them to yield safely. Simply flashing headlights or using a horn does not legally allow speeding. 15. How often should a Class 4 licensed driver submit a medical examination report? A. Every 5 years until the age of 65 and every 2 years after age 65. B. A medical examination report is not required for Class 4 drivers. C. Every 4 years until age 45, every 5 years between age 45 to 65, and every 2 years after age 65. D. Every 5 years until age 45, every 2 years between age 45 to 65, and annually after age. The correct option is D. Every 5 years until age 45, every 2 years between age 45 to 65, and annually after age 65. Based on Alberta provincial regulations, a Class 4 driver's license holder must submit a medical examination report every 5 years until age 45, every 2 years from age 45 to 65, and annually after age 65. This ensures compliance with medical fitness standards for commercial vehicle operation. 16. At an intersections where stop signs are located at all corners, a driver should A. Stop. Allow the vehicle that arrived first to proceed first. B. Stop. Proceed when it is safe. C. Stop. Allow the vehicle on the right to proceed first. D. Stop. Allow vehicles on the left to proceed first. Correct answer. A. Stop. Allow the vehicle that arrived first to proceed first. Rationale. At a four-way stop intersection, the first vehicle to come to a complete stop goes first. If two vehicles arrive at the same time, the driver on the right has the right of way. This rule helps maintain order and prevents confusion or collisions. 17. Driver attempting to turn left at a steady green traffic light. A. Has the right of way over pedestrians. B. Must not cross the path of an approaching vehicle unless it is safe. C. Must stop before the pedestrian crosswalk line, then proceed. D. Has the right of way over oncoming traffic. Correct answer. B. Must not cross the path of an approaching vehicle unless it is safe. Rationale. When turning left at a steady green light, you must yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians in the crosswalk. Only turn when it is safe to do so. Do not assume the way is clear. 18. What is a general rule for judging distance in front of you when pushing a person with a wheelchair? A. Judge distance by the passenger's knees. B. Judge the distance from the front of the seat. C. Judge the distance by the front of the footrests. D. Judge distance by where you are standing. Correct answer, C. Judge distance by the front of the footrests. Rationale. When pushing a wheelchair, you need to estimate the space in front of the wheelchair carefully to avoid collisions. The footrests extend beyond the front of the chair, so judging distance by the front of the seat or the knees can lead to hitting obstacles. Using the footrests as a reference ensures the entire wheelchair, including the passenger's feet, clears doors, walls, or ramps safely. As a taxi driver, you may refuse to transport customers if A. The passenger is accompanied by 2 service animals. B. A passenger is below the age of 18. C. A passenger is below the age of 16. D. It is unsafe to transport the passengers. The correct answer is D. It is unsafe to transport the passengers. Explanation. A taxi driver may refuse service only when there is a legitimate safety concern. Examples include: the passenger is violent or threatening, the passenger is intoxicated and aggressive, the number of passengers exceeds the vehicle's legal capacity, the situation puts you or others in danger. 20. When transporting a passenger accompanied by a service animal, a driver should A. Never carry an accompanying service animal as it may pose allergy or health risk to the driver or other passengers. B. Never refuse to carry an accompanying service animal per the Traffic Safety Act. C. Only carry a service animal provided it is safe per the Traffic Safety Act. D. Only carry a service animal if the passenger will be able to restrain the animal during the trip. Drivers can have a limit of milligrams of alcohol in 100 milliliters of blood when operating a commercial vehicle in a commercial capacity. A. 100. B. 0. C. 80. D. 50. Correct answer, B. 0. Rationale. When operating a commercial vehicle in a commercial capacity, drivers must maintain 0 blood alcohol concentration. Even small amounts of alcohol can impair reaction time, judgment, and control, which is especially critical when transporting passengers or goods. This zero tolerance rule applies to all commercial drivers under Alberta's Traffic Safety Act. 22. When operating an emergency vehicle with sirens on, which of the following is a condition you must consider before exceeding speed limits or driving through stop signs and traffic signal lights? A. Vehicle conditions. B. Seriousness of the emergency. C. Safety of road users. D. Travel time. Correct answer, C. Safety of road users. Rationale, even when operating an emergency vehicle with sirens on, the driver must always prioritize the safety of all road users. You may exceed speed limits or proceed through stop signs and traffic lights, but only when it is safe to do so. Consider pedestrians, other vehicles, and road conditions, traffic flow and visibility. Seriousness of the emergency or travel time does not override safety. Reckless driving is still prohibited. 23. What should an emergency vehicle driver do after arriving at the scene of the emergency? A. Place reflective devices around the scene. B. Turn off the vehicle and lights to minimize psychological trauma. C. Keep the overhead lights and headlights turned on. D. Keep the siren activated. Correct answer, A. Place reflective devices around the scene. Rationale. After arriving at an emergency scene, the safety of the scene and road users is a priority. Reflective devices alert other drivers to the emergency, reducing the risk of secondary collisions. Siren and lights should be turned off once stopped unless needed for safety to avoid unnecessary noise and distraction. Keeping the vehicle stationary with proper scene protection is part of standard emergency response procedures. 24. The law requires that headlights be turned on when driving at night or when the driver cannot see clearly for a minimum distance of A. 500 meters, B. 250 meters, C. 150 meters, D. 1,000 meters. Correct answer, C. 150 meters. The law requires drivers to turn on headlights at night or whenever visibility is reduced, so that objects cannot be clearly seen at a distance of 150 meters or less. 25. When can a school bus driver leave the bus without turning off the engine? A. When the brakes are engaged. B. When there are no students on board. C. When the transmission is in its lowest gear or park position. D. Never. A driver is not permitted to leave the bus without turning off the engine. Correct answer, D. Never. A driver is not permitted to leave the bus without turning off the engine. According to the Commercial Driver's Guide, a school bus driver must turn off the engine before leaving the bus. This is a safety requirement to prevent accidental movement and protect passengers. 26. What is a general rule for driving a person with disabilities? A. Take the time to learn their needs and preferred method of communicating. B. Always communicate directly with the attendant of the person with the disability. Circa, review the transportation process with the client when meeting them for the first time. D. Both A and C. Correct answer, D. Both A and C. Rationale. A. Take the time to learn their needs and preferred method of communicating. This shows respect and ensures safe, comfortable transportation. C. Review the transportation process with the client when meeting them for the first time. This helps set expectations and reduces confusion or anxiety. 27. Driver fitness assessment should be conducted by A. The licensing authority every 5 years to age 45, then every 2 years until the age of 65 and annually thereafter. B. The driver before each trip. C. The driver's family doctor annually. D. The driver's employer every 12 weeks. Correct answer, B. The driver before each trip. Explanation. A driver fitness assessment refers to the driver's responsibility to self-assess their physical and mental condition before every trip. This helps ensure safe operation of the vehicle. The other options relate to medical exams or administrative checks, not the day-to-day fitness for duty assessment expected of drivers. 28. Which of the following activities is not allowed under the distracted driving law? A. Smoking cigarettes. B. Eating a snack. C. Reading printed material in the vehicle. D. Using a sit under the distracted driving law. A. Smoking cigarettes. B. Eating a snack. C. Reading printed material in the vehicle. D. Using a citizen's band radio to contact one's employer. Correct answer, C. Reading printed material in the vehicle. Explanation. Under distracted driving laws, reading printed material while driving is prohibited because it takes the driver's eyes and attention off the road. The following are generally permitted: smoking cigarettes, eating a snack, using a citizen's band radio for work-related communication. 29. In a vehicle that does not have anti-lock brakes, what does threshold braking refers to? A. Pumping the brake pedal repeatedly until the vehicle comes to a stop. B. Pressing firmly on the brake pedal to the point just before the wheels lock. Keep them locked. Correct answer, B. Pressing firmly on the brake pedal to the point just before the wheels lock. Explanation. Threshold braking is the technique of applying the brakes as hard as possible without causing the wheels to lock up. This allows the driver to maintain steering control while slowing the vehicle as quickly as possible. A is incorrect. Pumping is not threshold braking. C is incorrect. Locking the wheels causes skidding and loss of control. 30. The holder of a Class 4 driver's license may operate a bus with a maximum seating capacity of A. 12 passengers, excluding the driver. B. 15 passengers, excluding the driver. C. 24 passengers, excluding the driver. D. 36 passengers, excluding the driver. Correct answer, A. 12 passengers, excluding the driver. Explanation. A Class 4 driver's license allows the holder to operate taxis, ambulances, and buses with a maximum of 12 passengers. For buses carrying more than 12 passengers, a Class 2 license is required. 31. When should a siren in an emergency vehicle be operated? A. When the vehicle is being used in response to an emergency. B. When the driver anticipates traffic delays. C. When the vehicle has low fuel. D. When transit time is higher than usual. Correct answer: A. When the vehicle is being used in response to an emergency. Explanation: siren use is strictly limited to emergency situations, such as responding to fires, medical emergencies, or police calls. It is not allowed for avoiding traffic delays, saving fuel, or reducing travel time. 32. Drivers of a taxi may refuse to transport passengers when A. The vehicle is already carrying the maximum allowed number of passengers. B. A passenger is offensive or dangerous to you or others. C. Both A and B. D. Drivers of taxis should not refuse passengers. Correct answer: C. Both A and B. Explanation: a taxi driver may refuse service if A. The taxi is already full. B. The passenger is offensive or poses a danger to the driver, other passengers, or the public. Drivers cannot arbitrarily refuse passengers for other reasons, but safety and capacity are valid exceptions. 33. The recommended braking procedure to bring a vehicle to a normal, smooth stop is A. Apply brake pressure, ease off slightly just before the vehicle stops, then reapply sufficient pressure to stop. B. Continually increase brake pressure until the wheels lock. C. Shift the vehicle into neutral and apply steady pressure to the brake pedal until the vehicle comes to a stop. D. Pump the brake pedal smoothly until the vehicle stops. Correct answer: A. Apply brake pressure. Ease off slightly just before the vehicle stops, then reapply sufficient pressure to stop. Explanation: this is called the normal braking procedure. Apply brake pressure smoothly to slow the vehicle. Ease off slightly just before coming to a complete stop to avoid a sudden jolt. Reapply enough pressure to bring the vehicle to a safe, complete stop. 34. This sign indicates A. Off-road facilities ahead. B. Uneven pavement. C. Slippery when wet. D. Detour ahead. Sign indicates B. Uneven pavement. It warns drivers that the road surface ahead is uneven or has a sudden change in level, which can affect vehicle control. 35. When exiting or entering a roadway at a weave zone, you should A. Slow to exit the highway or increase speed to enter the highway. B. Increase speed to exit the highway or slow to enter the highway. C. Exercise caution and cooperation. D. Both A and C. The correct answer is D. Both A and C. You should slow down when exiting, increase speed when entering, and exercise caution and cooperation with other drivers in a weave zone. 36. This sign indicates A. Added lane. B. T intersection. C. Traffic merging from the left. D. Road narrows left ahead. The correct answer is B. T intersection. This sign warns that a side road joins the main road ahead, forming a T-shaped intersection. Drivers should be prepared to slow down and watch for cross traffic. 37. What is a good communication strategy when transporting a person with a disability? A. Tell them what you think is the best approach to transport them based on your experience. B. Communicate with their attendant. Circa. Use a communication approach that seems most appropriate at that time. D. Never assume you know an individual's needs without first asking. The correct answer is D. Never assume you know an individual's needs without first asking. Good communication means respecting the person's independence and preferences and asking how they want to be assisted rather than making assumptions. 38. Fatigue can be caused by A. Keeping the vehicle at a comfortable temperature, B. Eye strain, C. Using sunglasses, D. Prescription glasses. The correct answer is B. Eye strain. Eye strain can make you tired and reduce alertness while driving. The other options help improve comfort or vision and do not cause fatigue. 39. To avoid collision, a school bus driver could reverse a school bus next to a school ground if A. They physically check the area for any obstructions and clearances. B. The school ground is empty. C. The school bus is unloaded. D. It is against the law to reverse a school bus next to a school ground. The correct answer is D. It is against the law to reverse a school bus next to a school ground. School buses are never allowed to reverse next to a school ground because it's extremely dangerous for children and pedestrians, even if the area looks clear. Safety rules require forward movement only in these areas. If found guilty of impaired driving as a first-time offender under the Traffic Safety Act, a driver shall be disqualified from driving for a period of A. 6 months, B. 18 months, C. 1 year, D. 1 year or option of $1,000 fine. The correct answer is C. 1 year. Under the Traffic Safety Act, a first-time impaired driving conviction results in a 1-year driving disqualification. 41. If a bus breaks down in a safe location, what should the driver typically do? A. Evacuate the bus and arrange replacement transportation. B. Instruct passengers to remain on the bus and take a break. C. Evacuate the bus to the side of the road and wait for a replacement bus. D. Instruct passengers to remain on the bus and watch the situation. The correct answer is D. Instruct passengers to remain on the bus and watch the situation. When a bus breaks down in a safe location, the driver should generally keep passengers on the bus and monitor conditions, since the bus provides protection from traffic hazards. 42. When can a driver of a school bus carry passengers above the seating? The correct answer is D. Never. The school bus driver is not allowed to carry above the legal seating capacity. Explanation. A school bus must never carry more passengers than its legal seating capacity, regardless of circumstances or approvals. This is a strict safety and legal requirement. 43. Which statement is true about school bus alternating flashing light? A. Can be activated at all times to unload and load students as it is exempt from all bylaw restrictions. B. Cannot be used to load and unload students if a bylaw prohibits its use. Circa. Can be used en route by the driver if an emergency occurs on the school bus. D. Both B and C. The correct answer is D. Both B and C. Explanation. B is true. School bus alternating flashing lights cannot be used if a local bylaw prohibits their use. C is true. The lights may be used en route in an emergency situation involving the school bus. 44. As the driver of a passenger with disability, what should you do when meeting a client with a wheelchair for the first time? A. Review the transportation process and take the time to learn their needs. B. Discuss the client's needs with their attendant. C. Ask the client to get into the vehicle and assist them to load their wheelchair into the vehicle if they have one. D. Help the client into the vehicle safely and ensure a safe seating arrangement. The correct answer is A. Introduce yourself to the client, review the transportation process, and take the time to learn their needs. Explanation. When meeting a passenger with a disability for the first time, the driver should communicate directly with the client, explain the process, and ask about their specific needs instead of making assumptions. 45. Punishment for impaired driving under the Criminal Code includes A. A combination of prison term, fine, and driving ban. B. Prison term and $1,000 fine. C. Prison term and $500 fine. D. Only a driving ban. The correct answer is A. A combination of prison term, fine, and driving ban. Explanation. Under the Criminal Code of Canada, impaired driving penalties can include a jail term, monetary fines, and a driving prohibition, depending on the offense and circumstances. 46. What steps must the driver take before refueling a school bus? A. Check the air in the tires and wash the windshield. B. Ensure they have the passwords or cards to operate the automatic fuel pump. C. Turn off all passengers' personal devices before refueling. D. Open all windows and doors before starting the fuel pump. The correct answer is B. Ensure that they have the passwords and cards to operate the automatic fuel pump. Explanation. Before refueling a school bus, the driver must make sure they have the required access credentials to safely operate the automatic fueling system. 47. This sign indicates A. Route reserved for buses. B. Route for vehicles over 4,500 kilogram. C. Route for dangerous goods. D. Route for slow-moving vehicles. The correct answer is C. Route for dangerous goods. Explanation. A black diamond inside a green circle is the official Canadian traffic symbol for a designated dangerous goods route. It shows the approved roadway that vehicles carrying hazardous materials must follow. 48. Which of the following activity is not allowed under the distracted driving law? A. Reading printed material in the vehicle. B. Using a citizens band radio to contact one's employer. C. Eating a snack. D. Smoking cigarettes. The correct answer is A. Reading printed material in the vehicle. Explanation. Under distracted driving laws, reading printed material while driving is prohibited because it takes the driver's eyes and attention off the road. Activities such as using a CB radio for work purposes, eating a snack, or smoking are generally not specifically prohibited unless they interfere with safe control of the vehicle. 49. The Traffic Safety Act does not restrict emergency vehicle drivers from A. Entering information on the GPS en route. B. Cell phone if used in an emergency management situation. C. Cameras. D. Handheld communication devices when acting within the scope of their employment. The correct answer is D. Handheld communication devices when acting within the scope of their employment. Explanation. Under the Traffic Safety Act, emergency vehicle drivers are exempt from distracted driving restrictions for handheld communication devices when they are performing their job duties, as stated on Commercial Driver's Guide, page 82. 50. What vehicles are exempt from the distracted driving law? A. No vehicles are exempt from distracted driving. B. Cars, motorcycles, motorhomes, trucks, farm vehicles, and bicycles. C. Emergency vehicles are exempt at all times. D. Emergency vehicles when responding to a call. The correct answer is D. Emergency vehicles when responding to a call. Explanation. Under distracted driving laws, emergency vehicle drivers are only exempt while actively responding to an emergency call or performing emergency duties. They are not exempt at all times, and regular vehicles are not exempt. 51. How should a driver of a school bus deal with a badly behaved student? A. Remove the student from the bus at any place to avoid driving distractions. B. Remove the student to the nearest safe location and contact the school administrator. C. Drop the student off at their normal destination and report the student's behavior to the school administrator. D. Prohibit the student from riding the school bus subsequently. The correct answer is C. Drop the student off at their normal destination and report the student's behavior to the school administrator. Explanation. A school bus driver's primary responsibility is student safety. Drivers should not remove a student at an unsafe location. Drivers do not have authority to suspend or prohibit a student from riding the bus. That decision belongs to school administration. Behavior issues should be documented and reported to the school administrator after completing the route safely. 52. General rules for transporting persons with disabilities include A. Make sure passengers are properly secured in the vehicle. B. Drive smoothly, avoiding sudden stops, starts, and swerves that may cause passengers to shift or lose their balance. C. Keep the noise level in the vehicle, including music or radio, to a level comfortable for your clients. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. All the listed options are important general rules when transporting persons with disabilities. Ensuring passengers are properly secured improves safety. Driving smoothly helps prevent injury or loss of balance. Keeping noise levels comfortable. 55. This sign indicates A. Two-way traffic, B. Right turns only, C. U-turns permitted, D. Left turn lane control. The correct answer is D. Left turn lane control. This sign shows how traffic in specific lanes must turn, indicating lane use control for turning movements rather than general traffic flow or U-turn permission. 56. What is an uncontrolled intersection? A. An intersection with yield signs but no stop signs. B. An intersection with traffic signs but no traffic signal lights. C. An intersection with a flashing yellow light in one direction and a flashing red light in the other direction. D. An intersection with no traffic signs or traffic signal lights. The correct answer is D. An intersection with no traffic signs or traffic signal lights. An uncontrolled intersection has no stop signs, yield signs, or traffic lights. Drivers must follow right-of-way rules instead. 57. What is the best way to decide your route for your passenger? A. Take a convenient route that driver prefers. B. Take the most direct route unless otherwise discussed with passenger. Circa, take the most direct route unless otherwise discussed with passenger. D. Take a scenic or pleasurable route for passenger. The best answer is B. Take the most direct route unless otherwise discussed with the passenger. That's the professional standard. Efficient, predictable, and respectful of the passenger's time. You probably noticed B and C are the same. On exams, you'd still choose one of them. B is usually marked as correct. 58. In case of vehicle fire, what is the best approach to evacuate passenger from a school bus? A. Only through front door. B. Depending on emergency and using combination of emergency and front doors. C. Through windows and doors. D. Only through rear emergency door. The correct answer is B. Depending on the emergency and using a combination of emergency exits and front doors. In a vehicle fire, the driver must use the safest and quickest exits available, which can include the front door and emergency exits, depending on where the fire is and what's safest for passengers. 59. A driver attempting to turn left at a steady green traffic light. A. Must not cross the path of an approaching vehicle unless it is safe. B. Must stop before the pedestrian crosswalk line, then proceed. C. Has the right-of-way over oncoming traffic. D. Has the right-of-way over pedestrians. The correct answer is A. Must not cross the path of an approaching vehicle unless it is safe. At a steady green light, a left-turning driver must yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians and only turn when it's safe. When your vehicle is being passed on two-lane highway where traffic flows in different directions, it is good practice to A. Increase your speed. B. Decrease your speed. C. Move to the right side of your lane to give the other driver a better view of the road ahead, if safe. D. Always shoulder check if a vehicle wants to overtake your vehicle. The correct answer is C. Move to the right side of your lane to give the other driver a better view of the road ahead, if safe. That's the recommended safe driving practice on a two-lane highway. Don't speed up or slow suddenly, and help the passing driver see ahead while maintaining your lane. 61. What should a taxi driver do before starting a trip if a passenger is offensive? A. Call the employer and report the issue. B. Refuse to carry the passenger. C. Stay calm and respectfully resolve any concern. D. Call law enforcement as soon as possible. The correct answer is C. Stay calm and respectfully resolve any concern. Professional driving standards expect the driver to remain calm, polite, and try to de-escalate or resolve the situation respectfully. Refusing service or calling authorities is usually a last resort unless there's a safety risk. 62. A dash must follow the 2-second rule when following a passenger vehicle under ideal conditions. A. Ambulance. B. School bus. C. Passenger vehicle. D. Police vehicle. The correct answer is B. School bus. According to the Commercial Driver's Guide, school bus drivers must follow the 2-second rule when following a passenger vehicle under ideal driving conditions. 63. A school bus driver should activate a strobe lamp A. At the first indication of a mechanical fault en route with students on board. B. When it is about to stop on a highway. C. During emergency situations on the bus. D. During adverse atmospheric and visibility conditions. The correct answer is D. During adverse atmospheric and visibility conditions. A strobe lamp on a school bus is used to increase visibility in poor weather, fog, heavy rain, or other low visibility conditions, not for every stop or mechanical issue. 64. What is true about minimum following distance for passenger vehicle? A. A driver must follow 4-second rule. B. Driver must follow 2-second rule. C. A 6-second rule is applicable for passenger vehicle. D. A driver must use good judgment as to how much time may require applying brake. The correct answer is B. Driver must follow the 2-second rule. For passenger vehicles under ideal conditions, the standard guideline is the 2-second following distance. Longer following distances apply in poor conditions or for larger commercial vehicles. 65. A driver must develop the following key elements of driving to prepare themselves for the responsibility and risk of driving. A. Skill, knowledge, awareness, attitude. B. Common sense, knowledge, alertness, assertive. C. Understanding, experience, empathy, judgment. D. Restive, alertness, perception, attitude. The correct answer is A. Skill, knowledge, awareness, attitude. These are considered the key elements of safe driving. Skill, the ability to control the vehicle properly. Knowledge, understanding rules, signs, and procedures. Awareness, being alert to road conditions, hazards, and other road users. Attitude, having a responsible and safe mindset while driving. 66. When letting students on or off the school bus, the driver should do all of the following except A. Activate the warning alternating red lights at all times as it is exempt from bylaws. B. Activate the warning alternating red lights only if the bylaw allows its use. C. Extend the stop sign. D. Pull as far to the right as practical before stopping to load or unload passengers. The correct answer is A. Activate the warning alternating red lights at all times as it is exempt from bylaws. Explanation. School bus drivers should not ignore local bylaws. Red warning lights are only used according to the rules and bylaws. They are not automatically exempt. The other actions are proper safety procedures when loading or unloading students. 67. When approaching an intersection displaying a flashing yellow traffic control light, the driver A. has the right-of-way over all other traffic but must slow to 30 km per hour before entering the intersection. B. must come to a complete stop and not proceed until the light stops flashing. C. may proceed with caution after yielding to pedestrians and other vehicles lawfully within the intersection. D. must treat the intersection as a four-way stop. The correct answer is C. may proceed with caution after yielding to pedestrians and other vehicles lawfully within the intersection. Explanation. A flashing yellow light is a warning to slow down and proceed carefully. You do not have the right-of-way and do not need to stop unless required for safety. You must yield to pedestrians and any traffic already in the intersection before proceeding. 68. A vehicle exiting a parking lot onto a roadway, A. is not required to stop. B. must stop only if there is a stop sign. C. must come to a complete stop. The correct answer is C. must come to a complete stop. Explanation. Any vehicle exiting a parking lot onto a roadway must stop completely before entering traffic to ensure it's safe to merge or cross, even if there's no stop sign. This is a key safety rule. (69) Is an operator permitted to turn left from a one-way road onto a one-way road at a steady red traffic control light? A. No, only right turns are permitted on a red light. B. Yes, after reducing speed and yielding to any traffic or pedestrians. C. Only when there is a sign permitting the turn at a red light. D. Yes, after stopping when it is safe unless prohibited by a sign. Correct answer is A. No, only right turns are permitted on a red light. This reflects typical traffic law. Right on red allowed after stop and yield. Left on red usually not allowed unless posted. 70. Which of these is a defensive driving tactic? A. Anticipating and preventing another driver from changing lanes. B. Making up time by changing to a faster lane. C. Being aware of your own physical and mental condition. D. Making eye contact with other drivers. The correct answer is circa. Being aware of your own physical and mental condition. Explanation: defensive driving focuses on preventing accidents by being aware of risks, including your own alertness, fatigue, and reaction ability. Anticipating hazards rather than trying to control other drivers. Making safe, cautious decisions. 71. Dash is driving with the aim to anticipate possible hazards and take action to reduce danger before it can occur. A. Visual lead time. B. Cautionary driving. C. Careless driving. D. Proactive driving. The correct answer is D. Proactive driving. Explanation: proactive driving means anticipating potential hazards and taking action to prevent accidents before they happen. It's about being prepared and alert rather than just reacting to problems as they occur. Visual lead time: how far ahead you scan the road. Cautionary driving: being careful but not necessarily anticipating hazards. Careless driving: the opposite of safe driving. 72. When the overhead lights and siren are activated, what is the recommended lane in which to drive an emergency vehicle on a 4-lane highway? A. The right lane in the same direction of traffic. B. The left lane in the same direction of traffic. C. The left lane in the opposite direction of traffic. D. The right lane in the opposite direction of traffic. The correct answer is B. The left lane in the same direction as traffic. Explanation: when responding with overhead lights and siren, emergency vehicles on a 4-lane highway generally use the left lane in their direction of travel because it provides better visibility and clearance. It allows safer maneuvering around slower traffic. Right lanes may be blocked by parked vehicles or turning traffic. 73. When assisting a passenger with a scooter, a driver should: A. Depending on the type of vehicle, decide what is most appropriate. B. Depending on the type of vehicle, ask the passenger what they choose. C. Always transfer the passenger from the scooter to the vehicle seat to minimize safety risks as required by law. D. Always transfer the scooter to the vehicle without moving the passenger to the vehicle seat as required by law. The correct answer is B. Depending on the type of vehicle, ask the passenger what they choose. Explanation: when assisting a passenger with a mobility scooter, the driver should consider the type of vehicle and accessibility options. Ask the passenger their preference for safety and comfort. Ensure all safety measures are followed, such as securing the scooter if it's being transported. It's passenger-centered, not automatic transfer by law. 74. What should you do if your vehicle starts to skid? A. What should you do if your vehicle starts to skid? B. Keep your foot off the brake pedal and steer in the direction you want the vehicle to go. C. Pump the brake pedal to regain control of the vehicle. D. Press the brake pedal firmly without locking the wheels. The correct answer is B. Keep your foot off the brake pedal and steer in the direction you want the vehicle to go. Explanation: if your vehicle starts to skid, do not slam or pump the brakes. This can make the skid worse. Take your foot off the accelerator and brake. Steer gently in the direction you want the front of the vehicle to go. Once the vehicle regains traction, resume normal control. '75. To anticipate possible hazards and take action to reduce danger before it can occur, a driver carrying passengers should practice A. Aggressive driving, B. Proactive driving, C. Careless driving, D. Cautious driving. The correct answer is B. Proactive driving. Explanation. Proactive driving means anticipating hazards and taking action before they become a danger. This is especially important when carrying passengers, as it reduces risk and ensures safety. Aggressive driving increases risk. Careless driving, the opposite of safe driving. Cautious driving, being careful but not necessarily anticipating hazards like proactive driving. 76. Vehicles are not allowed to drive in the bicycle lanes except A. When it is safe to do so and there are no bicycles on the lane, B. When overtaking another vehicle, C. When needing to turn or exit a parking spot, D. When it is designated as a shared lane with cars. The correct answer is C. When needing to turn or exit a parking spot. Explanation. Vehicles are generally prohibited from driving in bicycle lanes, but exceptions include making a turn across the lane, entering or exiting a driveway or parking spot. 77. How should passengers board and exit the school bus? A. Only after receiving permission from the driver and the vehicle has come to a complete stop. B. By either the front or rear doors. C. Only through the front door. D. Only through the exit door located on the right side of the bus. The correct answer is C. Only through the front door. Boarding and exiting the school bus should only be done through the front door. This allows the driver to supervise the process and ensures that everyone is safe. The driver has a better line of sight to monitor the situation and make sure no one is in harm's way. 78. What should you do if you have a passenger on board and a police vehicle stops behind your vehicle? A. Be quick as you interact with the police officer to save the passenger's time. B. Stay calm and be prepared to provide your car documents when requested by the police officer. C. Stay calm and step out of your vehicle to avoid distracting the passenger as you interact with the police. D. Stop, offer to help the passenger arrange another taxi if to avoid delays. The correct answer is B. Stay calm and be prepared to provide your car documents when requested by the police officer. Explanation. When stopped by the police, remain calm and professional. Keep passengers safe inside the vehicle. Have your driver's license, vehicle registration, and insurance ready if asked. 79. When approaching an intersection with cross traffic, what is a good practice for emergency vehicle drivers who are responding to an emergency? A. Slow down to confirm other road users are yielding. B. Deactivate and activate the headlights to draw more attention. C. Speed up to clear the intersection. D. Sound the horn to alert pedestrians. The correct answer is A. Slow down to confirm other road users are yielding. Explanation. Even when responding to an emergency, safety comes first. Never assume other drivers will yield. Slow down and scan the intersection before entering. Use lights and sirens to alert others, but speeding through blindly is dangerous. This practice helps prevent collisions while maintaining emergency response efficiency. 80. When is a driver of a taxi exempt from wearing a seatbelt? A. When there are no passengers in the vehicle. B. When the Taxi Commission has provided an exemption letter. C. A driver is never required to wear a seatbelt. D. When transporting a passenger for compensation or hire. The correct answer is D. When transporting a passenger for compensation or hire. Explanation. In many jurisdictions, taxi drivers are exempt from wearing a seatbelt while carrying a paying passenger, mainly to allow for quick entry and exit and to provide better service. This exemption applies only while a passenger is on board. The driver must wear a seatbelt when driving without passengers. 81. What may passengers not do while a school bus is in motion? A. Sing. B. Electronic devices. C. Stand. D. Talk. The correct answer is C. Stand. Explanation. Passengers must remain seated while the school bus is in motion to prevent injuries in case of sudden stops or accidents. Singing, using electronic devices, or talking are generally allowed, as long as they don't distract the driver. 82. Which of the following vehicles requires a daily trip inspection report to be completed? A. Bus for 10 passengers. B. Limousine for 10 passengers. C. Bus for 15 passengers. D. Taxi for 8 passengers. The correct answer is C. Bus for 15 passengers. Explanation. Commercial vehicles that carry more than 10 passengers typically require a daily trip inspection report to ensure safety and compliance with regulations. Smaller vehicles, like taxis, limousines, or buses under 10 passengers, usually do not require a formal daily inspection report. 83. Dash allows you to anticipate hazards and maintain a constant speed. A. Defensive driving. B. Driver complacency. C. Driver complacency. D. Momentum. The correct answer is A. Defensive driving. Why? Defensive driving means staying alert, anticipating hazards early, and adjusting smoothly, which helps you keep a steady, controlled speed. That's exactly what passenger drivers are expected to do for safety and comfort. 84. A passing lane is used by dash. A. By cars moving straight at an intersection. B. By slower vehicles. C. When overtaking a vehicle. D. By faster vehicles. The correct answer is C. When overtaking a vehicle. Explanation. A passing lane is specifically designed for overtaking slower traffic safely. Slower vehicles should stay out of the passing lane. Faster vehicles only use it to pass, then return to the regular lane. It is not meant for regular travel at intersections or simply driving faster. 85. Which of the following statements about speed is not true? A. Increases stopping distance. B. Reduces braking distance. C. Impacts the ability of a driver to react to actions or detect hazards. D. Impacts the ability of a driver to safely negotiate curves, lane changes, or maneuver. The statement that is not true is B. Reduces braking distance. Explanation. Increasing speed actually increases braking distance. It does not reduce it. All the other statements are true. Higher speed increases stopping distance, reduces reaction time to hazards, makes it harder to safely navigate curves, lane changes, or maneuvers. 86. When encountering a funeral procession that is crossing an intersection, A. Sound the horn before proceeding. B. Proceed through the funeral procession only when there is sufficient space between vehicles. C. Yield the right-of-way and do not break through the procession. D. Flash the high beam headlights before proceeding. The correct answer is C. Yield the right-of-way and do not break through the procession. Explanation: funeral processions are treated as a single unit, and other drivers must not cut through or disrupt them. You should wait until the entire procession has passed before proceeding. Using the horn or flashing lights is inappropriate and unsafe. 87. Fatigue can be made worse by A. Overeating, B. A cold vehicle, C. Smoking, D. Both A and C. The correct answer is D. Both A and C. Explanation: overeating can make you sleepy and reduce alertness. Smoking can affect oxygen levels and circulation, which can increase fatigue. A cold vehicle does not directly make fatigue worse. 89. When does a driver have to take 24 consecutive hours of off-duty time, regardless of cycle? A. Before reaching 50 hours in 7 days. B. Before reaching 90 hours in 14 days. B. Once a month when the unit goes to the shop for its regular maintenance. B. Before reaching 70 hours in 7 days. The correct answer is B. Before reaching 90 hours in 14 days. Explanation: drivers who operate commercial vehicles are required to take 24 consecutive hours of off-duty time before reaching 90 hours of driving in any 14-day cycle. This ensures proper rest and helps prevent fatigue, regardless of shorter breaks or daily hours worked. The other options do not meet the federal Canadian commercial driving rules for mandatory 24-hour rest. 90. When assisting passengers who are hearing impaired to get their attention, what should you do? A. Be very audible to get their attention. B. Ask their attendant to communicate on your behalf. C. Use official sign language. D. Gesture with your hand or touch their arm lightly to get their attention. The correct answer is D. Gesture with your hand or touch their arm lightly to get their attention. Explanation: for passengers who are hearing impaired, you should get their attention gently, usually by lightly touching their arm or using a clear hand gesture. Avoid shouting or relying on someone else unless necessary. Use official sign language only if you are trained to do so. This method is polite, safe, and effective for alerting hearing-impaired passengers. 91. An emergency medical vehicle operator responding to a scene of a collision should A. Keep the flashing lights activated and turn on the headlights so that the vehicle is clearly visible to other drivers. B. Turn off siren and flashing lights once parked at the scene of collision. C. Keep the siren activated to go through traffic lights intersections without stopping. D. Park the vehicle a distance away from the collision, injured person, and attendant. The correct answer is A. Keep the flashing lights activated and turn on the headlights so that the vehicle is clearly visible to other drivers. Explanation: when responding to a collision, emergency vehicles must remain highly visible to alert other drivers and reduce the risk of secondary accidents. Keeping headlights and flashing lights on ensures safety at the scene. Turning off lights too early can create a hazard by making the vehicle less visible. 92. When your vehicle is being passed on two-lane highway where traffic flows in different directions, it is good practice to A. Increase your speed. B. Always shoulder check if a vehicle wants to overtake your vehicle. C. Decrease your speed. D. Move to the right side of your lane to give the other driver a better view of the road ahead, if safe. The correct answer is D. Move to the right side of your lane to give the other driver a better view of the road ahead, if safe. Explanation: on a two-lane highway with opposing traffic, when another vehicle is overtaking you, You should stay in your lane, move slightly to the right if it's safe, giving the passing driver a clear view and space to complete the maneuver. Do not increase or decrease speed unnecessarily, as this can confuse the overtaking driver. Shoulder checking is mainly for lane changes you make, not for vehicles passing you. This practice improves safety for both you and the overtaking driver. 93. What should a driver do with passengers when a bus breaks down in a dangerous location? When transporting frail or weak seniors and those with reduced mobility, a driver should be aware of their increased risk of A. Allow passengers to do what they are comfortable with while you wait for assistance. B. Get passengers off the bus and guide them to a safe location. C. Get passengers off the bus, but only when it is above 0 degrees Celsius. D. Have passengers stay seated on the bus. Correct answer, B. Get passengers off the bus and guide them to a safe location. Explanation: if a bus is stopped in a dangerous spot, passengers should be moved to safety away from traffic. Staying on the bus can put them at risk of collision. Temperature considerations are secondary to immediate safety. 94. At an intersection, a driver must stop. A. If the light is flashing red. B. If the traffic light has just turned yellow. C. If the traffic light is showing green arrow to turn left. D. If they are passing another vehicle. The correct answer is A. If the light is flashing red. Explanation: a flashing red light means the driver must come to a complete stop and proceed only when it is safe, just like a stop sign. Yellow light means prepare to stop if it's safe to do so, but you don't automatically stop. Green arrow means you may turn left, but only if it's safe. Passing another vehicle does not require stopping unless a traffic control signal says so. 95. When transporting frail or weak seniors and those with reduced mobility, a driver should be aware of their increased risk of A. Becoming easily fatigued while driving. B. Falls and injuries while boarding, exiting, or moving in the vehicle. C. Getting lost or disoriented during travel. D. Overeating during the trip. B. Falls and injuries while boarding, exiting, or moving in the vehicle. Explanation: frail seniors and people with reduced mobility are at a higher risk of falls and injuries because weaker balance. They may lose stability easily when getting on or off the vehicle. Lower muscle strength makes it harder to hold handrails or maintain posture while the vehicle is moving. Slower reactions. They may not respond quickly to sudden stops or jerks. Health conditions. Conditions like arthritis or osteoporosis increase the chance of injury from minor slips or bumps. 96. At an intersection, a driver must stop. A. If the light is flashing red. B. If the traffic light has just turned yellow. C. If the traffic light is showing green arrow to turn left. D. If they are passing another vehicle. Answer is A. If the light is flashing red. Explanation: a flashing red light functions like a stop sign. The driver must come to a complete stop and only proceed when it's safe. Yellow light means prepare to stop, but you don't automatically stop unless it's unsafe to continue. Green arrow allows you to turn safely in the direction of the arrow. Passing another vehicle does not require stopping unless a traffic control device indicates it. '97. When an emergency vehicle is being used in response to an emergency, what must the driver do to be able to go against the usual traffic control requirements? A. Flash the headlights. B. Activate the siren. C. Activate the horn. D. Use the public address system. The correct answer is B. Activate the siren. Explanation: When responding to an emergency vehicle driver may legally go through stop signs or red lights only if the siren is activated. This alerts other drivers and pedestrians to yield the right-of-way. Flashing headlights, horn, or public address system alone do not give legal authority to bypass traffic control signals. 98. Which statement describes the steps required to reverse a passenger vehicle in a straight line? A. Place the left hand at the top of the steering wheel and look over the right shoulder through the rear window. B. Keep both hands on the steering wheel and constantly use the inside rearview mirror for guidance. C. Place the left hand at the bottom of the steering wheel and use both outside mirrors. D. Place the right hand at the top of the steering wheel, look over the left shoulder, and use the outside left rearview mirror. The correct answer is A. Place the left hand at the top of the steering wheel and look over the right shoulder through the rear window. Explanation. When reversing in a straight line, the driver should place the left hand at the top of the steering wheel. This gives better control while reversing. Turn and look over the right shoulder through the rear window. Gives the clearest view of the path behind the vehicle. Mirrors alone are not sufficient for accurately judging the space directly behind the vehicle. This method is standard driving test procedure for reversing straight safely. 99. One of the following is not a general rule when transporting a person in a wheelchair. A. Push the wheelchair at a faster walking speed. B. Apply the wheelchair brakes when the wheelchair is stopped. C. Be careful not to bang the wheelchair or handle it roughly. D. Watch for loose handle grips or armrests that are not locked into place. The correct answer is A. Push the wheelchair at a faster walking speed. Explanation. When transporting a person in a wheelchair, safety is the priority. Pushing a wheelchair faster than a normal walking speed is unsafe and can cause accidents or discomfort. The other options, applying brakes when stopped, handling the wheelchair carefully, and checking for loose parts, are all part of standard safety rules. 100. A driver encountering road rage should do all except A. Park at a safe place and try to de-escalate the issue. B. Slow down or increase your speed safely to move away from the aggressive driver. C. Avoid actions that could put you and your passenger at risk. D. Lock your doors. The correct answer is A. Park at a safe place and try to de-escalate the issue. Explanation. If you encounter road rage, you should never stop and confront or try to de-escalate the aggressive driver. This could put you at serious risk. Safe actions include adjusting your speed safely to create distance, locking your doors, and avoiding risky maneuvers. Your priority is to protect yourself and your passengers, not to interact with the aggressive driver. 101. What is the best approach when assisting a visually impaired passenger? A. Do not offer to help till they ask. B. Offer to help and take their right arm for better body balance support. C. Offer to help and wait for them to accept before you assist. D. Verbally and audibly inform them on how they should proceed. The correct answer is C. Offer to help and wait for them to accept before you assist. Explanation. When assisting a visually impaired passenger, always ask first. Never assume they need or want help. Only assist after they accept your offer, respecting their independence. Let them control how they are guided, such as taking your arm if they prefer. You've got this. Good luck on your test. Hit subscribe and share to support.